As a twink, I need Lucius x Aridan to be a thing.
You see at the far end that there is a very handsome male high elf. You would imagine quite young, not that dissimilar to Lucius in age. You know, kind of in a human equivalent, maybe like young 20s. Dark hair, unlike Lucius's blonde, but kind of kept very long. There is a crown upon his head, this beautiful silver crown with a large diamond at its center. Behind him, resting against the throne, is a very large greatsword, which is kind of carved from a silvery metal, and its pommel is shaped like a star clutching a diamond as well.
Nice.
And he's wearing armor with very regal robes, and he is communicating with what looks to be a mixture of citizens, a couple of these mages, a couple of guards, and they're having some sort of discussion. And then the robed mage eventually steps up, and you can see the prince looks a little quizzical. He leans in, and something is whispered in his ear. And you see the prince, his eyes kind of go wide. No, that's impossible. Are you sure? All right. Can we get Anastasia? All right. What's the other? Bellinor. Send for Bellinor. All right. And you say that he has companions with him. All right. Bring him. But yeah, yes. And you see the kind of the mage steps back, and the prince turns to the rest of the gathered like, "My deepest apologies, wardens and council. Something urgent has come up. I must suspend today's forum. Citizens," and he kind of addresses the crowd, "my deepest apologies. I am not able to take your questions or concerns today. An urgent matter concerning one of our noble families has arisen, and I must attend to it immediately. The forum will resume tomorrow, and I will double the duration so that I may hear any missed communications from today. Thank you so much for your time." And you see the crowd kind of gather, and there's murmurs as they begin filtering out. And the guard basically don't let anybody linger. They start kind of gently persuading people to leave. You kind of see a couple of elderly elves like, "But I have something to speak with." It's like, "The prince will hear them tomorrow. Come along," and kind of shuffles them outside. And then it's just you guys left. It's you, the prince, and then several royal guard and this robed mage. And the prince goes, and he starts coming down to you rather than coming up, summoning you. He comes down, and he beelines directly for Lucius. And he kind of, what state is Lucius in at this point?
His head's on the floor, he's slumped.
So he's just like lying on the floor?
No, looking down.
Okay, but standing up, but just like
Just
looking
sobbing
down.
to himself.
Okay.
I'm gonna be ready to just catch him if he falls over.
So you're like stood behind him like this.
I'm just like, I'm still trying to like give him tissues and like.
It's Weekend at
squeeze his
Bernie's,
arm.
but Lucius thinks he's not dead.
The Sky Prince kind of moves up and looks at Lucius directly, almost disbelieving it, almost like checking to see if he's real. And then he kind of looks down and tries to catch Lucius's face. "Lucius? Is it really you?"
I wish it wasn't.
And you've met probably when you were younger, much younger, like boys, like
So I recognise.
10 and 11. Yeah, you recognize him. Like you're a noble family. You would have gone to his, his birthday or something like that, or like when he was, announced as the prince heir. You probably would have gone to a celebration of it. You probably were at meetings when his father and your father were discussing matters and things like that.
So acquaintances rather than...
Yeah, I think so. I think you would know each other, but maybe not close friends, because he's always been kept separate because he is royalty.
Okay.
But you know Aridan. He is Prince Aridan Irisen-Pelony Starsorrow is his full title.
Have I... Nice.
I'm not gonna write that down.
I think the last time I saw you was at Father's funeral. And he kind of looks around. Elidus, is this... I'm so sorry, Lucius. I'm so sorry. There was the accident. Your father, when he heard about the airship, when we heard news of the airship, he retreated into himself. He threw himself into his work and kept saying that he had a new project, something to do with refining, something your sister was working on with him. He just withdrew from the world. And then the accident happened, and, well, we tried to locate you just to see if you'd survived, and well, some of the staves said that you were dead, that they'd seen your body. We thought you were dead.
Sir, with all due respect, I don't think I can handle this right now.
Yes, I understand. I do understand, but there are a few matters. The fact that you are here, that somebody has reported your death to us is significant. Perhaps you should lie down for some time. I can ask your traveling companions some questions.
Yes. Yeah, it's almost vacant, like a delayed response kind of thing. Yeah, yes, you're right. I should, sir. Sorry.
But there are other things we need to discuss, Lucius. The lines of succession. There's things about your father's business we need to discuss, but later. Go and take a rest now. And he kind of like calls forth a guard. Could you escort Lord Elenasto to the guest chambers? And they nod, and they offer to take you basically to a bedroom, like a guest bedroom, to lay down.
Yeah, and I'll do it kind of like almost like a sleepwalking state. Just be carried away.
And you can see the prince is visibly shocked at this point. He's very kind of taken back. Thank you all for bringing Lucius, Lord Elenasto, back to Gusthaven. I'm terribly sorry that it must be under such odd circumstances. There is also a small matter. I was holding on to it. Perhaps it was foolish luck or perhaps it was a bit of foolish hope on my behalf, but his father did leave something for Lucius in the event of his own death. It was recovered from their family bank account here in the Sky City, where his personal funds were kept. I would give it to him myself, but I'm afraid that my business may keep me busy whilst Lucius recovers. If I could ask you to please provide that to him when he awakens.
Your Majesty.
At this point, like when Puri looks over, you can see that the prince has merely stepped over towards his throne, picks up the greatsword, and then begins making his way back to the confrontation, but very calmly and very slowly. And this Bellinor kind of looks down at you and is just like, I have known him since he was a boy. How dare you incite that I'm offended, that I'm angry at his... I'm relieved! You do not understand. What would you know?
He's not mentioned you at all in the weeks we've been traveling with him.
His eyes kind of dart to Nova. I'm not surprised. I wasn't exactly always a very nice young man, but I've still known him for a long time. I didn't say we were friends, just that I knew him. Not that it's any of your business, Ganassi.
Actually, it is my business. He's a friend of ours.
That doesn't make my past with him your business. And you can see the prince now returns.
As if you're being a dick.
Slams the tip of the great sword on the ground, and as the tip hits the stone, this kind of bright light kind of shatters out. Enough! These people are here as guests of a lord of Gusthaven, Bellinor. Show them your respect. Very well.
Okay.
Assume it's urgent, or...
They have requested that you come and speak with them at the earliest possible convenience.
Right.
I believe that the Sky Prince worries a little. He worries about you.
Well, he has a lot on his plate.
He does. Although, well, strange. The Sky Prince is a funny one. For someone so young, he seems remarkably accomplished at getting things done. There's still a few problems, but strange. Just feels like he would struggle a bit more.
I don't think we should put that down.
No.
Sounds
very
like good
accomplished.
qualities to me.
Absolutely, of course.
Anyway, I guess... Well, you don't have to tag along. I can handle this one.
I'm ready to go.
Yes. Well, I believe the prince is just finishing up some business. And then he wishes to speak with you himself. But we have some news regarding investigations into the alleged scrying of your death, actually, Lord Elenasto. There have been some developments.
We might also have some useful information to return.
Myself and the Sky Prince would be very pleased to hear it. But we should wait for His Majesty. We should wait. And it doesn't take long before the doors open, and before any human enters, there is a fluttering of feathers and wings as a bright silvery white owl with a sparkling gem in the middle of its head, swoops in and lands on the back of a chair, and it's
White owl.
Yeah, white silvery owl. Lucius, you'd recognize these. These are kind of a common animal here in Gusthaven. It's called a star owl. They're quite rare. They're very expensive to keep, but they're generally raised with a mix of Ethereum, kind of blended into like feed and things like that, and they evolve as they grow.
In which case, I would do a very Lucius gasp.
Yeah, yeah. And it's like it kind of just perks on the back of a chair. Ooh, and its head just swivels round.
This is a rare sight, everybody.
Yes.
Star owl.
And then in following behind the owl shortly afterwards, you see the Sky Prince himself. Sky Prince Aridan, Irisen-Pelony, Starsorrow. A very regal...
Whoa.
Aridan, it's kind of like Lucius, Virion-Elluin, Elenasto.
Yeah, I
He has
know,
his two parents' names in there. Aridan, Irisen-Pelony, Starsorrow. You've met him before.
I know,
But
I don't think we had the full name last time.
he enters wearing his royal robes of deep blue and silver. He has a very large sword sheathed at his side and a crown upon his head. He kind of smirks a little bit when he sees the owl kind of perched on the chair, and he kind of calls over. He's like, Malachi, come down. You should not be up there. And the owl kind of like looks around, then hops down, and then bounces over towards the Sky Prince, and then flies up onto his shoulder. And you can see he kind of like, the Sky Prince lets out a weary kind of, and he begins taking the sword off of his belt, putting it to the side, and nods and says, my apologies for keeping you. The forum went on a little longer than I expected. We've been having some troubles of late down in the chains. It's been weighing on my mind a little, so I wanted to meet with some of the locals, some of the merchants and such, and discuss matters. Lucius.
Prince Aridan.
I'm glad to see that you are well. I learnt of the attack. I'm glad that you're all right. I'm glad that you and all of your companions are well.
Well, we've actually got quite good at surviving recently since the crash.
You've clearly, everything you've been through, I know it is tragic, but it has at least strengthened your resolve, I imagine.
Yes, I feel wonderful.
He kind of like looks embarrassed for a moment. He's like, I hope you understand my intentions.
And I am not taking it out on you. I was trying to joke. Lowlandier style.
Forgive me. Jokes I have
I know, it's
very rare of
strange.
them lately.
Sorry, Lord Aridan, it was not the time.
No, please. A little bit of mirth is a good thing now and then.
Fine.
Anyway, we can at least go see the Magronus.
Very well. I will have to take my leave. My deepest apologies, but
Sorry,
thank you for your
Sky
time.
Prince, thank you for your time.
No, thank you. And he takes the sword, hitches it to his belt. Come, Malachi. And he kind of scratches the owl, and then he gives you a bow, and then leaves.
I love Malachi.
Yeah,
I want
Yeah.
Star Owl.
one of these days. That'll be us.
Pretty cute.
We could sell the airship.
No,
We haven't got
we
it yet.
couldn't. We haven't even got it yet.
It doesn't take long for Lucius and Sentry as you guys are waiting. It's minutes after you kind of speak to the attendant, the valet at the front. Minutes, Aridan himself steps out and he looks to you. He kind of catches your eyes and looks extremely serious. Then turns to the kind of people who are waiting, and several of them get up as if like, oh, it's my turn to speak with the Sky Prince. And he's just like, I'm so sorry, everyone. I'm afraid that something urgent has taken place. I'm not sure how long I'll be gone for. You're more than welcome to leave your names with my staff here, and I will endeavor to return to speak with you as soon as I can. And there's some grumblings and some murmurings. You kind of hear like an old crotchety elf like, I've been waiting here all morning. I can't believe this. And then some of the others kind of turn and are like, very well. But Aridan makes his way quietly over to the two of you. Lucius, what is this about a crime scene?
Can we speak in private? Are we in a
Yes.
safe place?
Do you wish to speak in my office, or should we begin
Please.
making our way?
We could make our way.
Should I'm, and he kind of forgets himself. He kind of is about to ask your advice or permission, and then he kind of stops for a moment. He's like, would you fetch Captain Valera for me, please? And the valet is like, of course, Sky Prince, of course. Wait here. And he runs off, and he runs, like he starts pelting it down the corridors. I feel it best if I bring the captain with us if this is indeed a crime scene.
Yeah.
Yes, of course.
I don't fear that there's any immediate threat. We've dealt with a big threat that we never thought was.
Right. Still, I would feel more comfortable with Valyria here as the captain of the guard.
Absolutely, yes.
Of course. And he kind of, you see him, he's like, while we wait, just give me a moment. I'm going to try and settle a few unhappy faces.
Aridan,
Yes.
you may also want to find somebody with the capabilities of getting the truth out of people, because it may be completely unbelievable what you're about to see and hear.
Give me another persuasion check, actually.
14 plus 7, so
Yeah,
21.
you're a persuasive guy. He kind of looks, he's like, all right. Yes, he's like, well, we'll stop by. We'll have to make a detour. I'll have to send someone to go to the Church of Siaska. It shouldn't take too long, but we'll just have to make a brief detour. As you are being led up, the guards come and manacle you, and Prince Aridan steps forward and looks at you, Lucius.
There's still a zone of truth going on.
No, that was down in the thing. That was
we're
down
upstairs
in the secret
now.
room. Yeah, they've led you upstairs,
cool,
and he's
cool.
waiting up there. And he looks at you, and he kind of like stands as straight as he can. His eyes still a bit glistening, and he looks. And he's like, I don't want this to be done under magic. I want you to look at me and tell me that this. I want you to tell me that he was behind this. That this isn't you. That this. And you can see he's struggling to like come to terms with it, but he's looking for. You know what he's looking for, really, but he just looks directly into Lucius's eyes, like.
Prince Aridan, before I got on that airship sent by my father, everything was so black and white. Now everything is grey. Aerois was the greyest of them all. I thought he was very white, and he turned face. I don't know what's right anymore. I wish I could give you what you want to hear. But I'm questioning everything, as much as you are.
Yes. That is the position of people in power. We will attempt to conclude this investigation as swiftly as possible. He nods, and then he kind of.
If I could just say something, as I do.
There is a silence, like an awkward, like everybody just looks.
So, I've not known Lucius as long as any of you have, but the entire time that we have known him, all he's done is talk about how amazing Gusthaven is, and how amazing every other person in Gusthaven is, and how nothing is ever wrong here. And since we've gotten here...
There is a beat, like everybody feels their heartbeat, like...
Since we've gotten here, Lucius's world has been turned upside down.
He composes himself. I can assure you, madam, Gusthaven is a great city. I have worked very hard to ensure that it is a safe, kind place. I do not know what has happened, but Lucius's arrival here has set into turn events that I cannot explain, nor am I willing to currently accept.
With respect, Prince.
Normally when people say that, they do not mean any respect at all.
I just had disrespect myself. I don't believe that these turn of events has caused Gusthaven to flip on his head. So to put that on me is...
I was not intending to put it on you, Lucius. You cannot, but until you arrived, things were as normal.
We
Things
arrived
were
to-
exactly as they were. This was all going on in the underbelly. Your arrival has brought it to the surface.
Which
Where
is
it
what
should
we
be.
want to make right. Because Gusthaven does seem like a very wonderful place. And we want that. We want the best for it.
Then we are aligned. The investigation will prove that. He nods, turns, says something to Valyria, and Valyria nods, and you are led away to the palace dungeons. Taken upstairs, there is nobody waiting. A schedule has been cleared, a meeting has been set for you. And you are led in where Aridan is just looking out the window on the rest of the city. He's kind of got his back to you with these large, huge windows that look out of Gale Crown onto the main part of Gusthaven itself. His hands kind of clasped behind his back. You can see the greatsword is actually in a sheath on the floor beside his desk, and it's kind of embedded into like this plinth where it's like placed down with a bright gem on the top of the pommel. He turns. Thank you all for coming. Valera, it's fine. And she nods but stays in the room but moves to the back of the room. I wanted to offer both thanks and an apology. Aerois, when my father died, I did not know if I would be okay. I never expected to take on this position as young as I am. I thought that my father would rule for perhaps forever. Aerois was there to guide me, to offer me advice. I saw him as a rock that I clung to, as a drowning man would. I see now that likely most of his advice was only to further his own ambitions. The revelations of his connections to these Wind Barons, the conspiracy with Anastasia and Silvarius. It made me doubt everything that he told me, and now I feel as if I'm drowning once again. But I would rather be a drowning man who tries to swim than one being pulled down into the depths by something he does not know. So thank you. Whilst I am saddened by a mentor's death, I am very glad to finally have the truth brought to light. And I am sorry for having you wait so long, but we wanted to make sure. I'm glad that, well, I have my suspicions on who found the mage. I'm glad that they did.
Can I roll an insight check to see just how genuine he's being?
Someone's rolling an insight check?
What?
Galaxy Brain!
What's that?
What is
Yeah, you
that?
absolutely can write an insight check.
What's that? 16, 18?
18. So insight isn't like, they're telling the truth.
No.
However, with an 18 insight, watching this man, you've been around royalty. For most of your years, you served the Astoria line of Solvin. You see vulnerability. You see a lack of armor, of shields. This is a man who has let down his guard. He's relaxed. He's relaxed but still tense in that I'm speaking about something I find uncomfortable way. But he keeps eye contact. His hands tremble, but from a emotional reasoning rather than a nervousness. The rest of his body is still. His eyes don't dilate. From his body language, that's what you get. How you interpret that is up to you.
Cool.
But you can, I would say that you definitely get the sense that the other thing you'll get from that insight is I will tell you that it's very clear to you that Prince Aridan is afraid. He's afraid that he won't live up to the role of prince, that he will let the people of Gusthaven down. That is a fear, that is a character flaw.
For your part in this and of Gusthaven, I want to thank you too, because I've seen a prince before you. I was very young, but I know what it takes to be in the position that you're in, and you did the right thing. The first step in Gusthaven going in the right path, I hope. But like I said before, nothing is black and white. No one is black and white. Let's just hope there's more white than black in Gusthaven.
That is my hope, Lucius. I want this to be a good city. Good for its people and good for the world of Aerois.
And if I may,
He nods.
nothing comes for free.
He looks at you hard. Yes, you're quite right. Thank you. I know that all of this cannot have been easy on you especially. And you're very different to the young boy I remember. You've given me a lot to think about. I I hope that whatever you choose to do next, I know that you've sold off your estate and you've invested your money in an airship. I hope wherever you go, you find what you're looking for.
Thank you.
He nods to all of you. His owl flies down and just kind of lands on his shoulder, and he kind of scritches it. He has an owl pet, by the way, for your benefit, Katie. And yeah, he's just like, thank you. I won't take up any more of your time.
No, we won't say that we killed it. We'll just say that Starbane killed it. There you go.
While you are having this conversation, everyone, Lucius, you hear a voice in your head.
Oh, here we go.
Lucius, you hear a softly spoken female elven voice. Master Elenasto, Sky Prince Aridan will attend a meeting of the leaders in 5 weeks in Horizon.
Oh, no.
He requests you join him. Regards, Magister Luminara. It is the sending spell. You may reply with 25 words or less.
Lucius, why did you just glaze over like that? We're not talking in the thing right now. It's not what's happening.
Prince Aridan, we will do our very best to attend this crucial meeting in 5 weeks. Hope all is well. Love, Lucius. Lucius.
22.
22. There was 3 left, but you don't have to finish it. Fantastic. Okay.
Kiss, kiss, kiss.
3
Kiss,
times.
kiss, kiss.
Yeah, you could be kiss if you want. Yeah.
Kiss, hug, kiss.
I just had a message from Gusthaven that Prince Aridan will be holding an important meeting.
Attending
a meeting.
Well,
of
that's where the Dragonborn are
council.
going to be, so perfect.
In 5
Oh,
weeks.
perfect.
It's where a lot of people are going to
5 weeks? Oh, that's plenty of time to kill the dragon and pretend it was an accident.
Who's the next
Sky
one?
Prince Aridan.
Sky Prince Aridan. Okay.
In Gusthaven.
So there is a slight pause, and you hear
Nothing.
no. You
Who the
do
hell
hear
is this?
something. I'm just trying to think. Yeah, he would remember Quill, not very well, but he would
hell?
remember.
How did you get my number?
Well, he remembers Lucius mainly. He doesn't
He
remember
killed
the
his
rest of you.
assistant.
New phone.
Yeah.
Who's this?
New phone, who dis? No, he says, you are right to be careful, my friend. Things are moving swiftly. I will listen for the code, and hopefully we will meet soon. Is the message back.
That works. If we go to Gusthaven now, I can communicate with him and Sky Prince Aridan. That was his name, right?
I know, what's the
We
top?
don't know.
Do you want to try using that
super
name?
express-
Araya
Do we
thinks for a
actually-
minute. Go on.
Do we actually know where this meeting is?
Yeah, so you've been told. It's in the Sky City of Horizon.
Okay, it wasn't Horizon. Okay, I wasn't sure if they were keeping the location top secret.
Yeah, I mean, they are. They've told, but Sky Prince of Gusthaven told you where it was. He said
Okay.
that it was in Horizon because he's requested you guys to be there with him. The Sky Prince specifically requested you guys to be there.
I feel like we
Mhm.
have to be at Horizon, and we can't take the opportunity to have repairs in between. We might miss it.
There is. Go on, Quill, please, Master Quill.
We could go to Gusthaven to get the ship repaired at the very place that it was built. If it's done in time, amazing. If not, we might be able to attend the meeting with the Sky Prince. Take his transport.
If we can get to Gusthaven, we might be able to pull a favor and have a temporary ship in its stead.
I can send. Yeah, I'll send a message. I also wanted to do a sending to Sky Prince Aridan as well, to say, clear skies in Mirskir. Attack from Zarkira almost destroyed Storm Chaser. Heading to Gusthaven, but may need alternate transport to meeting.
Okay.
I just realised how close that name is to Amaram from Stormlight.
From Stormlight.
Yeah.
He's not like Amaram. Let me make that clear. He's much better than Amaram. You get a message back. It takes a little bit of time, but you get a message back. Clear skies. Good to hear from you all. Well, unable to help financially with repairs, but can provide assistance to Horizon. See you soon.
Perfect.
Nice.
That was worth trying. The transport is there.
Mm-hmm.
Also, now he knows that Mirskir was us. Oh yeah, we're the heroes. We're the cool guys. Boom.
Yeah.
What up,
But that's a
Aridan?
newspaper.
It's your boys, the Storm Chasers. Oh yeah, we saved the continent.
I think the only thing that I will say is at some point during the day, you will receive, specifically Lucius, will receive a messenger dressed in courtly attire, very prim and well-kept young female high elf, who delivers a missive. It is a very short letter addressed to Lucius and the members of the Storm Chaser, and it simply says, "I'm pleased to hear that you've returned to Gusthaven. I deeply wish to inquire to your recent activities and your progress in the various threats against Aerois, and to catch up regarding the matters within Horizon. Please, at your convenience, attend to Gale Crown, where I will be happy to host you for dinner." And it is from Sky Prince Aridan, the Sky Prince of Gusthaven.
Oh, thank you very much.
You are welcome,
say to the
Mr.
person.
Elenasto. Yeah.
We have a missive. Sorry to interrupt. Bye.
Well, I would prefer to return to the sky, to return to His Majesty with your response. If you will be joining him this evening, or perhaps tomorrow
right
evening.
now. Okay.
Well, it is still early. This would be an evening arrangement, so whenever would suit your persons best. It could be this evening, or perhaps tomorrow evening, if you have other arrangements.
We have no other arrangements. I'm sure we'll make every effort to prioritize this over anything else.
We did want to meet with Adea, didn't we?
As the Sky Prince himself, Aridan, I believe we should attend.
Okay. Yes, tonight sounds good, I think, for everyone.
Very
Is
well.
everyone okay with that?
Yes. Yeah. Fine.
It will be a private dinner with just the prince and yourselves. There will be no other nobles will be in attendance. Please do feel free to come dressed as you are. There are no expectations on formal wear. It will be a rather private affair.
Okay.
Well, I will tell the guards and the Sky Prince to expect you around 7 p.m. 7 bells.
Perfect. That sounds
Very
wonderful.
well. Thank you, Sir Elenasto. And she bows and will begin making her way to deliver other messages and jobs around the city.
Well, that's us busy for today. I've got to go find new clothes.
You just said that it was fine to come dressed as we are, so I'm absolutely not changing.
That is I think they're just extending some generosity, considering what we've been through, but it's the Sky Prince Aridan. I cannot be seen wearing these, you know? It's a formal event, a private dinner. All right. I'll come back.
However, I will say, Lucius, when you do go and speak to, I believe it is the Virion family who bought your family's land and then built you a secret kind of room underneath it, they do provide you with 800 gold, which is their basically their kind of seasonal payment that they are basically giving you in exchange for, leasing them the land, and then, they've then built you this kind of private base underneath their own house. So they provide you with 800 gold, which is like a seasonal payment. So you'll get that like several times in a year.
Thank you. I could get some new velvet gloves with this one. Excellent.
Whatever you wish to do with it, Lucius, you are more than welcome to.
Perfect. Well, good day to you. I have to... I've got so much to prepare. I've got dinner with the prince.
Oh.
The Sky Prince.
And
Prince Aridan.
Definitely
He's invited us.
perks up a few ears. That perks up a few ears.
Yeah, and I'll just scurry down to the secret base and look around my shoulders, make sure no one's looking, even though they all know.
As Lucius is speaking, the doors open, and in steps a much more casually dressed Sky Prince Aridan. To describe him from what he was before, he is about Lucius's age, so he's still quite a young high elf in terms of age, but he looks, that kind of agelessness that a lot of elves have. He has long brown hair, wears kind of robes and clothing cut of whites and blues. There is a large sword that he normally carries, but you see that a smaller, slender rapier is at his side. With a large cloak. His eyes are a very soft pale blue, and he just has very sharp angular features. He looks very traditionally elven. On one arm, though, he wears like these. He wears like a big, thick falconry glove on one arm, and perched on it is a very strange-looking white owl with a kind of very glowing, almost like a glowing star moat above its head, like a little sigil that kind of twists its neck around with a little tiny beak. Kind of glances around at everything. When he enters, there are no servants with him. He just enters by himself, shuts the doors behind him, and you see his kind of expression lighten as he sees you. He's just like, I'm so glad that you could all join me for this dinner. Thank you so much for coming. He lifts up the arm, and the owl flies from it to a small perch next to one of the chairs and begins just pecking away at some sort of maybe like a little bowl of nuts or fruit that's been laid out. And the prince begins taking his gloves off and places it on the thing. He's just like, I hope that it's all right. I've kept things quite simple. This is no opulent dinner or anything like that. Something a bit more casual. Some food will be brought through shortly, but it will simply be a couple of courses. Nothing too fanciful. I hope that is okay.
More than adequate, Your Highness. Thank you kindly for inviting us to dinner. And I do a very eloquent bow.
Please, Lucius, there's no need for any of that. I think that the services that you have rendered Gusthaven, and from what I am told by Hesper, your services to Aerois there is no need to bow. If anything, I should be bowing to you, I think is more appropriate. What you have done for our world and for Gusthaven is apt. Still, please, let's take a seat, have some wine. I would very much like to hear some of the things from your own mouths. I'm led to understand that from Hesper, he has spoken to me in my dreams. You have solved the storms over Voxar. That was you. You've done this.
Yes, it was a byproduct of this staff of oracles. A dragon, Johandrius, played with nightmares.
Well, you must tell me the story. Let us please tell me exactly everything that has happened. Whilst we have food, please. I wish to hear it. If you would be so kind.
Left you?
Well, if you've had more adventures than ending the storms over Voxar, I would be delighted to hear them as well.
Oh well. I mean,
this might
you don't have
take
to risk
quite a while.
I would gladly welcome that. We have wine, we have food. I can have the fire lit, and I have nowhere else to be this evening. I've cleared my schedule, and I could do with just listening to a story for a few hours.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, Nova has it all written down.
The Sky Prince listens intently, with absolute captivated attention to all your stories, asking questions here and there. Especially when speaking about worlds beyond Aerois, you can just see amazement and in curiosity lit up in the Sky Prince's face. And yeah, just kind of listens to everything. And when it all comes to a culmination, you just kind of, having had a little bit of wine and good food, he just sits back and is like, well, I had believed that you had accomplished much simply based on my knowledge of your cleansing of the storms, but it seems that even that is but a pale shadow of all that you have accomplished.
Yeah, we've done a lot, actually.
You have. You have indeed.
I think we've spoken enough, though, of our achievements. What of Gusthaven? It seems that things have calmed somewhat.
Calmed is a word. I believe that our mutual enemies, these Cloud Barons, they are still active. I do not know if you have heard, but airships have been attacked more frequently. Several of them have gone missing entirely. I believe that the Cloud Barons, I believe that they may be they may be working with Callus Valkyrian. I believe that everything you have told me and what was uncovered before, I believe that there is a connection. They are too organized. They have magic and technology that they did not have access to before. But it seems that Gusthaven, at least, has become less important to them. I don't know. Things have been calmer here. The difficulty I now face is that with less airships coming in, trading is the lifeblood of Gusthaven. Without trade, we must be very careful with our finances. I have expended most of the royal treasury and have done what I can to make sure that we have plenty, that the people and the merchants and the people that keep the city going really have everything they need. It has not earned me favors with some of the noble families, but I have done what I need to. Still, that is really a minor complaint in the grand scheme of things. One thing I did wish to speak with you all about was this upcoming meeting in Horizon. My hope is that you will accompany me as both guests and as my personal guards. I'm sure that you have already considered that it is highly likely that this is a target by some attack, either by the Cloud Barons or by Callus, this Starbane, manifested once again from everything you have told me. I think it likely, and so I can think of no one better to not only protect me, but to give your own input and your insight into this meeting with the leaders than yourselves. I think that coming as my guests will give you some credibility, and will also be a show of power for Gusthaven, therefore mutually beneficial, I would hope.
Very kind. I believe we were also invited ourselves anyway, due to our dealings with the Dragonborn and the Council. We've passed through Vivex.
I intended to travel by teleportation circle to Horizon. That will allow me to take up to 8 companions. I believe that with your ship damaged, you are in need of transportation. It would make sense for us to travel together. I have also arranged to have a private ship of my royal guards fly to Horizon and meet us once the talks have begun, both to provide as a unit of backup if we need it, but also as an alternative escape route if we cannot use the teleportation circles to return.
That seems perfect to us. We were looking for transport, and we'd be more than happy to provide you with protection en route.
I think that I would feel safer with that, most certainly. And I think that your presence, I did not realize that you had all been invited individually, but I think that your presence is necessary. The other leaders need to know what you have accomplished. They need to know that you are fighting for Aerois' best interests.
Any advice as a prince?
No, I'm afraid that my politics have been limited to here in Gusthaven for so long. I know the leader of Horizon somewhat. She is an interesting character. Lucius, I think that one thing you should be aware of is that Horizon has had a troubled history with High Elves. It is something that I have worked hard to overcome, but their history is a very dark one for our people, especially. Many people in Horizon they were abandoned and nearly killed by the High Elves who ruled over Horizon before it was reclaimed by its people. The leader is wise, if a little fiery in her temperament, but she is wise and she is noble of heart. But it is something that you must remember, that your heritage, your nobility, will account for very little in Horizon. You will be treated no differently than another citizen, as will I, as will any High Elf who attends. Something to be aware of, perhaps.
I rarely utilize it anymore anyway. We go on the merits of what we've achieved as this party.
I think that is, in a way, I think that is a far more noble achievement and a far better way to live. Apart from that, I'm afraid I have very little. I'm still quite new to all of this myself, as you witnessed with the dealings with Aerois and these Cloud Barons. Politics is not my strong point. There is one matter that I wish to discuss further, and perhaps I think it's perhaps time that my other guest did show themselves. He gets up, moves over to a window, opens it, sticks his head out and says, "Yeah, you should probably come in now. You've been up there for some time." And as he steps back, a very slender female form wearing tight-fitting leather armor and a long cape and a mask enters, moving very silently. This kind of opal face mask with a crescent moon shape along the front of it. You may have seen posters for this figure in the city in your last visit. She is called Moonstar. The Aerois and several of the others had convinced me that she was a threat to the city. However, with Aerois's true nature and the Cloud Barons themselves, she approached me with evidence towards several other members, and we have been working together in secret to try and uncover them. I felt that it's important that she meet with all of you as well, as the ones who were partly responsible for Aerois's capture.
We have met before, actually, shortly before leaving Gusthaven last time. It's nice to see you again, Moonstar.
The figure just nods her head and kind of with that magical kind of voice alteration, which kind of makes it sound like a very garbled version of a woman's voice. She speaks back and just says, like, "Indeed, I hope that your travels have been fortuitous."
Yep.
Nova's just like nudging Lucius and like kind of trying to be subtle but not so like Lucius.
Yes. Fortuitous, yes. Quite busy.
Ayla's just
Very
not
busy.
she's just gonna not say anything because she feels like if she says one thing, she'll give it all away, and that's she's like, no,
Sure.
no,
Nope.
not gonna.
Moonstar kind of moves in. "I do not wish to take up too much of your time, but the Sky Prince was insistent that I meet you as his only allies that he truly trusts. The Cloud Barons are still at large. You should know that Aerois was not the end of it. He was but one head of a Hydra."
Haven't formulated any real concrete plans except that we create some kind of two-pronged attack between the allegiances we've made out there and with us here. Maybe that could be while they're distracted with the meeting, we try and return valor then? I don't know.
Qillek, if I may be honest, such matters are actually beyond me. I'm not a military commander. If you require the use of Gusthaven's teleportation circle, you have it. If there is aid that I can offer you, not financial, but if you need guards, if you need soldiers, ask and I will provide them.
Wonderful. Okay. Okay. Well, we can try and figure out some way of doing that. Maybe after the meeting. I don't know. We need to.
I am afraid that I must leave. I must leave that to your own discretions. You know these enemies. You know these allies far better than I. But if I can aid you in any way, speak it, and I will do what I can. Financially, I'm afraid that Gusthaven cannot offer you any financial support. As I mentioned, I am using what I have to keep the city going as is. Even your ship, as much as I wish I could have helped you repair it, I'm afraid that is simply beyond my accounts right now. But if there is other ways that I can assist you, of course, I am more than happy to help. And when we speak in the meeting, please understand that I will support you all fully. You will have Gusthaven's full support in whatever you must say, in whatever requests you must make to the other leaders of Aerois. I will support you and back you and give you whatever political aid I can.
And to you, to the best of, of what you can provide. You've been a great help to us.
I'm afraid that I have not really been able to provide much, Sentry. I am just I am just a boy who was born to the right bloodline and has inherited a crown and a sword and a city. And all I can do now is try and make it as honest and as good and safe as I can. I'm not a fighter. I am not a mage. I'm just a man. That is all I can be.
You've given us your time. You've listened to us.
Of course, that is. I feel that anyone could do that.
Your seat is a
Not many
symbol,
people we've met.
and you fill that seat quite honorably, I believe. You're doing Gusthaven a service, and to that, Aerois, and we are honored to stand by your side. Thank you.
Your words are kind, Lucius, but anyone could sit in that chair. You could. I don't have anywhere near your experience, your abilities. Perhaps I'm okay with a sword. That is probably the best of my accomplishments.
I believe if you are doing your job correctly, you have no need of such skills. Our skills are when your politics fail.
Well, I hope that perhaps one day I can make you all out of a job. Still.
I hope so too.
Still, it is getting late, and I believe that our mysterious companion did say that she wished to speak with you. If there's anything you need while you're here, you have it.
Thank you.
You kind of notice, I'm guessing like quite a few of you would probably notice this going on, but the Sky Prince is like, yes, could somebody please explain what has happened and what this ship is? Anyone?
It's a really cool ship. We know the captain of this ship, Thalia. Great gal.
Yes, she has refused to leave. She says that she would be a danger to the rest of us. Can you elaborate more on that?
Can we sort this out, please? Do you mind? We can have her come out and speak with you directly.
Yes, I'm afraid that something is, Lucius, one thing to keep in mind is people are asking questions. I need to know what to tell the people of Gusthaven. This is clearly no airship. We thought it was a Valkyrian weapon that had been sent to attack us. If not for Qillek's message, I would have had it shot out of the sky.
All right. Tell them that this is an astral space vessel that's come from another planet. Because that's what
possible.
It is.
That's not possible. The cradle prevents it.
Well, we came back, did we not? It's been a long...
I remember your stories about all of this, but I didn't realize that you had brought the ship with you. This
was the ship, yes.
Well, we couldn't really get back down without it because
I thought Palador might have done something. You meant we might go and speak with your friend.
He let the ship through. The ship was granted access by Palador. So if Palador thinks the ship's cool, then hopefully you think the ship's cool too, right? Because it's a cool.
The Royal Guard Captain Valera eyes go wide at that particularly. She's like, really? Yes, go speak with your friend, this Captain Thalia of yours. There is much to discuss. Lucius, I'm sure that coming from your family, you must understand, if we study this vessel, this has magic and technology that we have never seen before. We could learn much about the Valkyrians' weapons from this.
Can I speak with you privately?
Well,
soon?
Yes. Let us. Yes, we shall speak. Yes.
Because I have a plan that could take this out of the public's eye and other eyes that would want, schematics and...
That is the concern. I will have the guards go and speak with your friend. We will speak privately, Lucius, perhaps this evening. I will keep a guard here stationed as much as possible, but...
Can we erect stationary temporary walls or something? Some wood to cover
we may be able to erect something like that. I may be able to have the royal staves project an illusion to mask its vision for now.
Phenomenal. Yes.
All right, let's do
something
that.
like
We'll go
that.
and speak with your friend. She said that she was fine. She refused any medical assistance, but go and check on her. You're going to find out about the Twin Star.
So, the Sky Prince, Aridan, he is the leader
nice.
here.
Is he handsome?
We'll go... yeah, well... and Lucius flusters. I'm going to do an arrangement with the Sky Prince.
Yes.
Sky
An
Prince.
arrangement. Yes.
I have a potentially... I need to work Nova. Could you help? Nova? Where is Nova?
Oh, she ran off because I made her touch my...
She's hiding.
Okay, I'm going to get Sky Prince Aridan, the Prince of Gusthaven, into the ship right now. And Lucius will straighten up and walk out.
Has Nova returned yet? Yeah, the Sky Prince Aridan, Captain Valera, Royal Guard Captain Valera is like, Lucius, I will need to attend with the Sky Prince. I'm afraid I'm not letting him out of my sight onto some strange vessel.
Fine. In which case, I must. I'm warning you now. She is cursed with the Medusa. Have you heard of this?
Only in stories. Yes, we've heard the stories of powerful magic that can normally a creature who is seeks after beauty and wealth and greed is cursed. For us, it was the old stories of Siaska would curse those who are evil and cruel to others.
Well, this is absolutely true, and it is unfortunately been inflicted upon our dear friend who helped us to return to Aerois, so I would appreciate some respect and restraint when it comes to that.
Well, I will do my best. She's not... can I look at her, or... because in the stories, if you look at the Medusa, you turn to stone.
Only if you disrespect them. Thalia's never done that to us.
Valera is just like, stand behind me, my prince. I will block sight if I need to.
She won't. She is a friend of ours, and if you're a friend of ours, then she is fine.
Very well.
You can trust me, Prince.
I can. I know I can trust you, Lucius. I understand that. And he kind of smiles at you and nods his head, and he'll follow you into the broken, slightly bloody interior of the Twin Star. You can see that he is personally amazed at just the marvel of the magitech that's being used to create it. Royal Guard Captain Valera is more concerned with the piled up dead bodies that Ayla has moved around and the blood and everything else, but she kind of makes her way in. And when you enter into the main cockpit, go on.
She's also drunk and half naked. This way.
She takes a very Han Solo pose, leaning on one knee, one foot up on her captain's chair, looks in the direction, is just like, an honor to meet you. Sky Prince, was it? And she nods her head in a kind of formal bow. Not bowing, but like in a nod of respect. Aridan kind of nervously glances from around Valera. He does look at the floor. He's not looking at her directly, almost consciously. Yes, indeed. And then he kind of tries to bring his eyes up slowly. A pleasure to meet you, Captain. Captain Thalia. Thalia Whisperwind at your service. Well, this seems all very orderly. Lucius, you told me she was drunk and half naked.
Oh, you heard that? Yes, she was. Seconds ago.
Lucius,
very impressive.
I would never dream of doing such a thing in the presence of royalty. And she kind of grins as she's looking at you.
Lucius is lost for words. So, I must urge you, Prince, I'm sure you already have this in mind, but those that study this vessel have no other ulterior motives or are working with those.
Of course, Lucius, yes. I have two people in mind. First of all, I think that it will take a certain mind to understand the magic and the arcane technology at work here. I believe my friend Moonstar would be a suitable person to study the vessel. Moonstar,
yes, I know.
The other... Trust is a difficult word. Have you met Azaria Perel? She runs the Aethagora. She's one of the prominent enchanters here in the city.
Yes, we've dealt with her, and we have sold items that have been valuable.
Oh. Well.
In trade, simple business.
Yes, of course.
From our very insightful friend, Quill, didn't seem like there was anything, right, untoward about her? You can read through people.
Well, not through... I mean, we've been Brookstoned before, but she seemed like a good sort. I mean, as long as whatever she researches, whatever she concocts with her research, make sure you're the first customer. Is probably the best way to put it. Don't want anyone else to...
Perhaps we can come to an arrangement where Azaria must present her findings to all of us. Perhaps that is something that we should investigate, and she must collaborate with our mutual companion Moonstar on anything she discovers.
She will have to be researching within my basement, would she not?
What is this basement?
Oh, yes.
Oh boy.
I'm really bad at this.
Well, I have facilities. We have warehouses that are under royal protections, but yes, what is this?
I look at the guard as well as Sky Prince.
Yeah, Valera. She's like she's like a general of the Gusthaven army, basically. Yes, okay, I am also very interested in this secret basement that you have, Elenasto.
All right, so I can't leave this vessel, okay? No more words, no more people. I've told too many. Moonstar knows, and that's it. No, that's it. No, there is a Magrona that knows. A good one, I think.
About 10 people, not including us, know about it.
We must have.
So,
let us discuss these details as we move the ship. I feel that we must make a priority to get this out of the public sight. You do hear a kind of sudden, call for alarm as a number of Gusthaven guards are kind of they immediately kind of pull long spears and bows and arrows and things like that in the direction of the portal as it suddenly flares to life, and all of these armed individuals come bundling out. Luckily, the Magister that you spoke to before holds up a hand like, wait! They are approved. Master Elenasto, can I please request, if you are returning to Gusthaven, please try and send word that you are coming if possible.
Apologies. The place we came from made that near impossible. However, we have urgent news for the Sky Prince Aridan. Can we have an audience with him at once, please?
Yes, I will. We will send a guard to speak with him and inform him of your return immediately. You are more than happy to wait here. We have some barracks and waiting rooms if you prefer. Then rushing back, the young woman, all sweat, kind of hair all over the place. Master Elenasto, the Sky Prince would like to speak with you immediately. He said to come and inform you as quickly as possible. I have a palanquin waiting we have transportation waiting for you just outside the gate to take you immediately to the palace. She leads you all outside, where a number of ever so slightly hovering palanquins pulled by semi-ethereal steeds, phantom steeds, appear to be waiting. Each palanquin can seat 4 people, and so you are kind of loaded up into 2 or 3 of these things with your guests as well, your rescuees, and you head your way towards the Palace of Gusthaven, which I know has a name. Gale Crown, the kind of main palace of the Sky City. On arrival, you see guards kind of ready and waiting. You are led inside into the main audience chamber, which is a kind of not a grand hall as such, but it does feature a large throne made of this kind of semi-clear crystal glass, upon which is sat Sky Prince Aridan, this very handsome but still quite young high elf, dark hair, big blue eyes, very much like Lucius's, where it's the whole eye. There are no kind of white parts or irises, just pure blue color. His owl, Malachi, is sat on the back of the throne, kind of looking around eagerly. And yeah, he appears to be waiting for you. There are a few other magisters assembled. Not anybody that you recognize. They seem to be just members of his court or perhaps guard. Lucius, the rest of you, I'm so glad that you've come back. What's happened? Please, tell me everything.
Sky Prince, Nova, perhaps it's best you show the data crystal.
Not that I distrust you, my friends, but there is proof that Damocles is involved in this, yes?
We need to take this to the council meeting that is happening soon. This
was my next point. I believe that all of this is vital information that must be shared with all of the leaders of Aerois. I am but one prince of a small city. I can do my best to secure this facility to assist you, but this is larger than Gusthaven. This is a threat to Aerois, and so it must be brought before everyone else. We have only a scant few days, 2 days before we must head out, so we do not need to wait too long. But whatever you think must be done next, I am willing to listen to your counsel.
If I may, Sky Prince.
Please.
I believe we're all in agreement here that our trust is wavering with individuals on Aerois, and it's difficult to find individuals with power that we can trust. And so this is why we do come to you first to secure this facility, because we trust you and the people around you. And so I hope you take it as importantly as we do.
Of course. I worry that our capacity, our ability to do much is not as great as perhaps the other nations or perhaps other forces. But Gusthaven will secure this facility. That I can assure you. I know that Damocles is a very smart man, a very clever individual. And if he has orchestrated all of this, everything with these wind barons, with Ironstaff, and he looks very guiltily and shamefully at Lucius, with your family, I think that perhaps he may be a few steps ahead of us already. But we will do what we can. Is there anything else? Anything else that I should know? I feel that there is so much to do now, and you've done so much already. You must be tired. You look exhausted. If you need to rest, I can have rooms laid here where you can be protected by my guards. Whatever you require.
Thank you. His brother, though, without him, we wouldn't have had the information to go there. I believe he deserves
Eleanor
safety.
helped you.
Yes.
I do not wish to understate this, my friends. What you have accomplished in Voxar, here, against Damocles in this facility, I do not know the details, but you are our greatest heroes on Aerois. If you are not up to something, I fear that there are so few individuals that can assist you. We can do what we can, but it is in your hands that we place our faith and our protection.
We'll do our best. Also, we took a load of armor. That's us now.
Yes. Is there any more of these weapons or armor? Anything left that we may examine? This is a lot, my friends, and I can see that weariness tugs at some of you. There is not much more we can do now. Appropriate people will be sent where they need to go. We will make adjustments, and if you think of anything, you know that I'm always here to listen. Gusthaven, Aerois owes you all so much of a great debt, and whatever I can do to repay it. But go now, rest. Think of what you wish to do. We have 2 days. By the time you rest, we will be looking at perhaps 36, 37 hours before we must make our way to Horizon. Prepare this information. We will need to present it to everyone else, but do what you can.
Thank you for your time.
He just nods. And yeah, you guys are left to go and do what you need to do.
We put everything into that, and we needed to, and we survived, so well done. I don't think we tell each other that enough, but we're doing great, considering the circumstances. So, kudos.
That's because we're Aerois' biggest heroes, obviously.
Apparently so.
Wait, who said that?
Sky Prince
Oh,
himself.
yeah, the Sky Prince did, yeah.
I think a lot of people look Up to us, Quill. Yes.
They lead you into the main chambers where Aridan is waiting for you. This high elf, very much like Lucius, long brown hair, but wearing sort of pale blues and whites. He has his greatsword, his very fancy looking greatsword sheathed on his back. And then he has Malachi, his owl, on like a gloved gauntlet as well with him. He doesn't appear to have any like major belongings. He maybe has like a small bag, like a backpack. And he just greets at you, nods his head. My friends, I'm so glad that you're here. Are you all ready and prepared? I believe that our timetable, we have some time to arrive in Horizon, find our accommodations, which I believe have all been prepared for us. And then the initial introductions will begin. So unless there is anything urgent, we must be on our way.
You called us Aerois's greatest heroes or something along those lines, but aside from you and the Dragonborns, unfortunately, no one there knows us.
Oh, I'm afraid, Mr. Khollar, that is actually not accurate. In organizing this meeting, there are several people who are aware of you. The Sheriff Mirskir, specific with you, as they are well aware of your activities with clearing the storms from Mirskir. The Duke of Hill-Jaden is also likewise familiar with your saving his kingdom, effectively, from the terrible storms that racked Mirskir. The dragons, indeed. I believe that also King Telvin Rooksilver of Savona, of Rooksfield, has been informed of your efforts in helping the people of Savona. An individual called Arvel Dagus, the head of the Dagus Trading Company, has spoken predominantly on your behalf. You are invited, Quill, not just as witnesses, not just as people who can give us testimony towards the Starbane threat, but also as champions, people that can fight, who will be at the front of this battle. That is your role in all this.
Diplomacy and politics.
That's so cool.
You do not need to worry. The diplomacy and politics leave to myself and the others. You are here to provide testimony, to speak of your encounters, to tell us what is beyond the cradle, but also of the threats that you faced here on Aerois. But also, you will be expected to participate in things like tactics, planning, battle strategy. That is where we expect you to take the forefront. Individuals such as Mr. Khollar, you are regarded as a significantly powerful priest in the faith of the Starborn. Your connection with Hesper is notable. Things like this. The Sky Prince clearly believes you, believes that you are some great hope for Aerois. But I had to meet you. I had to speak with you. I had to see you. I wanted to look into your eyes when I asked you these questions. I wanted to see whether you would grovel and bow, and perhaps that's how you had won Aridan over, but not. Clearly was not the case. The three of them appeared to be talking, and Aridan kind of waves over, and Rain kind of lets Aridan make the introductions for this time. Aridan mentions like, my friends, I'm so glad that you are here. I hope that everything is well. Before we get into it, let me introduce you to somebody who is very keen to meet you. They wish to thank you both personally. I'm so glad that I can do these introductions. May I introduce Shepherd Parrick, the representative of the Council of Shepherds of Mirskir, and Duke Rogrick of the Duchy of Hill-Jaden, representing the country of Hill-Jaden to the north. You were invited to sit down, section of seats all arrayed for you. And then when everybody is there, you can hear like murmuring, that kind of like hushed conversation as everybody's kind of getting settled, speaking with their neighbors. On either side of you, so sat next to Lucius at one end, and then whoever wants to be at the far end of the other. Lucius, Sky Prince Aridan, is sat next to you. Prince Aridan looks at you, Lucius. Lucius, I'm so glad that you're here. Do you think you and the crew are ready?
As we'll ever be, honestly. I hope you have your best diplomatic hat on today. It's going to be an important
I will do my best to try and lend as much strength and support to what you have to say, as well as represent Gusthaven as best as I can. I have to deliver my report on these these sky pirates and the weapons factory that we found. But I don't believe that will be until perhaps later today or tomorrow. But still, I will do my best to lend you what support I can, my friend. And he just kind of like puts his hand on your shoulder, sort of like, we're in this together now kind of thing.
Thank you.
And it's just you guys and Danica. Rain is there, probably Sky Prince Aridan, because I think he's close enough to you guys that you know that he's allied, and Danica knows that he's allied with you as well. So it's really, yeah, just Rain, Sky Prince Aridan, Danica, and you guys for now.
But it does beg the question. Starbane's clearly been contacting leaders of Aerois, or in contact for a long time. Sky Prince, I mean, I hate to ask this, but have you received any kind of communique from him?
Not at all, no. But I mean, I suppose not myself, but we know that some of our nobles were working with him. It's the only way that the Magrona, that Democles would have aligned himself. Perhaps he reached out to those he thought were more susceptible. Perhaps because we were already allied.
Lucius. He wouldn't.
I think
he wouldn't
that
have
may be
risked
it.
That would have made. We would have been aware of what he was doing. Surely, Lucius, you could have some serious influence in Gusthaven. Tell the
Make
people.
no doubt,
Tell
Ayla.
them what happened. Exactly.
I promise you that Gusthaven will stand by you. The people will stand by you. You've saved them. You've protected them. They know who you all are. Not just Lucius, but all of you. I stand by you. And if there is nothing else, I do believe that the people like me. If we need to convince them to fight, we will convince them to fight. I consider Gusthaven an ally of whatever path you
I
take.
do too.
So, yeah, she's a full ally now of the Storm Chaser.
Yeah.
So she
And
somehow.
you know, just to stop you guys worrying, with the Zone of Truth and everything you've seen, Prince Aridan and Danica are on your side.
Yeah,
100%.
Closest we can get to 100% alliance.
Trust,
I'd
yeah.
say.
Yeah,
Trust.
100%
This is a
Think of-
safe
affection.
space.
Yeah.
Horizon
We
is
maxed out the
your...
hearts.
But we still have a decision to make. A war still to fight. Where do you stand? She looks. Sky Prince Aridan stands up, sat next to Lucius. He stands up. I have known the crew of the Storm Chaser. They have saved my city and me. And if they stand against Callus, I believe it is the duty of all of us, children of Siaska, to do the same. Where are they attacking? They've attacked in primarily 3 locations in the city. The city center, the docks, and the Ethereum refinery, sir. We don't have the forces to hold them all off. What do you wish us to do? At this point, Aridan turns to the rest of you. Storm Chasers, I can lead my guards and my mages to one of these sites, but I don't think we have the manpower to take on all 3 if there are more of those things flying around. Can I leave this? What should I do? What should we do?
My worry is with the refineries, not only for the future.
Leave
of
the
Gusthaven-
refineries to me, Lucius. I'll take my personal guard. We'll head to the refinery, see if we can't buy you some time, at least.
If they explode, that would be extremely
That's my
damaging.
worry. I think that
people in the
whatever is
city
happening
centre-
The
here,
dock has air support. There's dragon in the sky. Do we want to go
go to the
inside
docks.
where that is not?
We should
The
go to-
refineries
we-
are still
let's
exposed
go-
to the elements. The whole city is, Ayla. No matter where we go, those things are still going to be a problem. If you think that you have allies at the docks, ones who could help us, it may be that Azaria Perel is there. She's a very powerful mage as well, along with your companion Thalia and your ship. Whatever help we can get, we need.
Then we go now to the docks. That's what I say.
All right. I'll take my guard to the Ethereum refineries, and we can... Shepard, if you can go to the city center, just try and hold them off. Save as many people as you can. Don't worry about the buildings. Use them in any way you need to. We can always rebuild.
Good luck, Sky
You
Prince.
keep yourself
Just
safe.
hear another
If it's
roar.
not safe there, get out, and we will come later. We'll switch to there as soon as we're done.
I'll buy you the time you need. And just with that, he kind of like... goes off. You
And again, I might just inform the Sky Prince of our intentions
before we leave Gusthaven without any word. So I'll go do that.
Okay. All right. Yeah, you guys can accomplish all of those things. I mean, the Sky Prince, I don't think has too much to say unless you want to have a full conversation with him, Lucius. In terms of like checking in, the city is damaged, but will recover. You know, things are gonna be okay in Gusthaven. The quick heroics of the Storm Chasers and all of your allies. The dragon that came with you, Faelissa, the blue dragon lady, she is currently with Aridan, and those two are like, you know, discussing what happened in the battle and things like that. And she seems to be sticking around, kind of watching over Aridan. You get the impression, like, she seems to be there as a kind of like, okay, this place has been attacked, I'm gonna wait until I know it's secure kind of deal.
Perfect. Well, I'll inform both of them of our intentions to go back to Horizon, see if they want to come, but it seems like they want to stay, keep tabs on stuff.
Yeah, I think Aridan probably says, Lucius, I would love to head back to Horizon with you, but I feel that I need to be here now. The city was just attacked. The people are frightened.
Of course.
There is much work that needs to be done.
Your duties. I wouldn't take you away from that.
I would ask you this, Lucius. Go back, speak with Danica, and I see yourself as Gusthaven's ambassador. I'm happy to write an official writ for you to act as our ambassador in Horizon for the time being. I can have somebody sent with more political acumen if that is something you would need as an aid. But I know that you have the same values when it comes to defeating Callus and protecting Gusthaven. So I would ask you to stand in my place where I cannot be there, if that is acceptable.
I'll do my best. That's all I can do. Until there's a replacement.
That is why I'm asking you to do it, Lucius, because I know you wouldn't. I know that you are not some politician, that you are not. That you wouldn't do this if I didn't ask. And that makes you a good candidate for it.
I'm a servant of the Prince and Gusthaven, and I will do your bidding, of course.
Lucius. He steps forward and he kind of like takes your hand in both of his. Lucius, you are my friend.
It is an honor.
You are not a servant. You are not a member of my staff. You are my friend, and I trust you to do this.
I will do it, of course.
Thank you.
Both Gusthaven and Aerois.
Indeed. Lucius, do you want to talk about the diplomacy with Gusthaven? Do you want to talk about what that was and what Lucius was trying to do?
Yeah. So, Lucius has a meeting with Sky Prince Aridan, and he has a thing on his mind in terms of like refugees of, you know, wartime. So, and he knows the history of Gusthaven. He was taught it as a young boy. He feels like he could help lend a hand with his resources and bring on Faith as well as kind of like a diplomatic expert in a sense.
So yeah, I think that, like, you know, with it over those months, Faith's been speaking with nobles of Gusthaven, not just Sky Prince, like going out and speaking to, you know, common people, going out to like people that have got floor space in their kitchen and like saying, you know, would you take people? Like, there's this war is going to start having casualties and we're going to need places to send the sick and the injured and people that can't fight. Like, would you take them? And like, she really spends a lot of time going around doing that. And Prince Aridan, who you have a really good relationship, is fully on board with the idea. And I think that we see this scene where like Lucius, who is like the representative, meets with Sky Prince. You shake hands. There's like a big ceremony, and Gusthaven, basically agrees that they're gonna basically act as like a spillover, like a field hospital or like a place for people to take refuge.
Can we throw open the doors of the Grand Cathedral of Siaska as well?
Yeah, absolutely. Like everybody, the city is definitely enthused by the idea.
Okay, I want to do a sending to Prince Aridan in Gusthaven.
Okay.
And in 25 words, ask, you know, say, Horizon is under attack. How is Gusthaven right now?
Okay. Yeah, you get a response back like, Gusthaven is fine. No attacks here. Does Horizon need aid?
I'll send another one. I mean, it's costing spells, but any aid you can send would be much appreciated. And then I'll kind of try and detail what's attacking: airships, 2 dragons, and things like that.
Actually, I'm sorry, Quill. I'm going to retcon that. Get your spell slots back. When you try and send Aridan, it doesn't work. I forgot something was currently in place.
Yeah, because they wouldn't have been able to get through anyway.
We were struggling to get back as well.
Rain would have sent aid. Yeah, I forgot about the barrier that's currently in place around the city. Not that you can see one. Cough, meta knowledge.
I can't send a message to Aridan. I don't know how he's doing.
He's dead.
Oh no. This is the worst.
Sorry.
I wish for Prince Aridan to be alive.
You are so lucky that I know when you're fucking joking.
Come on.
I mean, yeah, but if you say the wrong words, I'm going to be on you like a son of a bitch.
Yeah. I think in terms of downtime, like if we're going to do a little bit of like RP
Yeah, you've got
stuff, like
as much as time as you need, really. I mean, there's probably things you guys want to check up on and pursue.
Yeah, I don't necessarily want to RP this out, but Nova would definitely, if there was time, go to Gusthaven and visit her family. Maybe take Thalia there too. You know, Thalia
I'll take you there in the Storm Chaser.
No, we're not RPing this.
I'll come with you. I want to go to Gusthaven.
No. No. I also had another idea.
I mean, I want to see the prince.
I also had another idea.
Moonstar.
I had another idea.
Lucius can't wait to go on a double date with Thalia and Nova.
Excuse me.
Let's go back up a minute, because that means you've got to ask Sky Prince Aridan on a date.
Yeah.
That's true. This is true.
And what's Quill gonna think?
I can see fail. I can feel fail out there somewhere. Like,
I sense a disturbance.
Elves holding hands.
It's alright, I'll bring Faith.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, yeah.
Max.
You can bring Faith.
I'll just bring
Yeah, Sentry, you bring Max. Sentry, you bring Max.
Oh, Sentry and Max. Whoa, Sentry and Max or Quill and Max?
I got my.
Are we fighting? Are we fighting for Max right now?
Everyone brought their partners. I brought books.
Excuse me, Nova?
Quill's that meme of the guy in the corner of a party going, "They don't know that I've got my cool eye," and then he's got.
They don't know I can see the future.
It's probably not worrying. It's probably fine, right? Yeah.
Is this all meant to be out loud, or is this meant to be in your brain? Because it's all out loud at the moment, Nova.
I'd say that's pretty normal.
It's fine.
Yeah?
Yes.
Okay. Right. What are we doing?
I'm going to take you to Gusthaven to see your family. I'm going to see my family. We'll check in with the prince. Make sure everything's okay there with the war and all that. Quill and Sentry can come along as well. And then we'll all have a meal with Thalia.
But the maker of the Storm Chaser also arrived. Idea is there. Do you want Aridan to come with you? Like, what's the plan here?
Well,
yes?
I was sure that I would. Well, Lucius would want to catch up.
He knows. Okay, yeah.
And see how things are going.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna get to the family as well.
Okay.
What's the word for, like, the
absolutely
little tiny foods? What's that
Entree?
Canapé.
Canapés. We will have canapés before we serve up a full dinner. But we can certainly arrange small plates. Tapas is it's the Elvish word for But the entire gang is there. You have a squadron of Gusthaven guards, the guards outside, like, for the Sky Prince. But the Sky Prince it seems like he's clarifying this as a sort of diplomatic meeting, but he's also using it as an excuse to get away from the palace and the nobles and things like that. And
business
it is
expense.
a very rowdy. This is going to be expensive.
Well, I just thought it was a little run down is all. Daddy used to say that he just used to go here for his bulk buys.
Bulk buys, okay.
I think Adea would just be like, it's definitely not quite how Father painted it. It definitely seems
bit drab, isn't it?
It is a little drab. Even Adea agrees with Lucius. But the rest of you can't imagine how on earth this could be drab.
Gusthaven's slipping away, isn't it?
Well, it is wartime.
It is wartime. You're right.
We should give them some slack.
Say that for the prince.
Yeah, the prince just sort of it's just like, well, how about you let me speak with them, Lucius? I will speak to them privately once we finish.
Oh, no, not at all. Of course, we're all doing our own part, aren't we? And I understand that the budget is stretched thin in certain areas, displaced troops and all that. Yeah, you're doing the correct thing.
Right, of course. He just sort of smiles. You can take, I think, maybe he probably walks past Nova or Quill and probably just whispers something along the lines of, you can take the elf out of Gusthaven, but you can never quite take the Gusthaven out of the elf. After hearing Lucius's little remarks.
It's strange, when Adea's here and I'm in Gusthaven, I feel like I fall back into old habits.
Right, no, I can't believe you would say that. No, it seems, you are a man changed, Lucius. You've gone on all these wonderful adventures. I don't imagine that you're the same man who left this place a long time ago. From what I have understood, you've changed quite a lot. But I think it's good to come home and to be amongst the familiar for a little bit of time. It's certainly good to see you. I have greatly missed all of you very much. And the Sky Prince sort of nods his head. You will be pleased to know that things have been relatively quiet here. We heard there was some sort of attack on Horizon, but so far we seem to have been left alone. I don't believe that I'm afraid things have been a little boring, I must say. Since everything, not that is a bad thing, given that everything that we went through before. I think a little bit of quiet, a bit of stability has been good for Gusthaven. But
yes, I wouldn't recommend the alternative to Horizon, nonetheless.
Indeed.
Lucius,
we are
you should tell the Sky Prince about everything that's happened to us. Catch up with him. Spend all night talking to him.
I suppose. We've got a meal to eat as well. But we can fill you in on the summary of everything we've done, from the Feywild to visiting domains, the Titans. But
Please do, yes, of course. But also, there are so many people here to introduce me to, so many faces I am not familiar with. I know that some of the folk here assembled are part of your crew, and I certainly would gather by the familial appearance that some appear to be Miss Vija's family. But
yes, that's Miss Vija there and Mr. Vija. Say hello.
A pleasure to make your acquaintance. Your daughter, and the Sky Prince goes over and he takes your mum's hand. Your daughter has been an enormous part of Gusthaven. Without her, I fear that this city would not still be standing. She has my thanks to you as well. And your mum is just properly taken back and is very sort of thing. And your dad's shaking his hand, just oh, thank you very much. No, we're very proud of her. Very proud of our girl. We are brilliant. And he's are all of the paintings here first? They're not replications, are they? They're real? And he's just oh yes. If you have a love of art, sir, the palace has a number of marvelous paintings and sculptures. You are more than welcome to come and see at any time. I know that you are staying here. You are more than welcome to come and visit any time. And your dad is just completely amazed by it all.
Yeah. I just really like that. I don't know. I love my dad.
Yeah.
And also he's trying to make eye contact with Nova while she's getting grilled by her mum.
Yeah, I think you guys can catch each other's eyes, yeah.
And he just subtly points at the balcony on the other side that overlooks Gusthaven.
She's just mouthing back why are you pointing at... Why
and he does a gesture of putting a ring on it.
Oh my god!
No!
Okay.
For podcast listeness, we're in a fine dining establishment.
One of his hands was the ring. There was a finger going into it.
On the balcony.
Let me just make some rolls for perception rolls for some of the other NPCs.
You just see Nova's mouth just drop open what? What?
Okay. Out of everybody, Quill kind of clocks it. Like, no, everybody else is involved in conversation. Quill, you clock it. Also, Howard, like, you hear Howard, like, stop on his drink. He's just like... Taya looks at you, Lucius. It's like, brother, how long have they been sort of together?
It feels like years. Next question.
Okay, I know what it feels like. Very specifically, how literally long has it been?
Long enough, sister. Come on.
Okay.
They're meant for each other. It's destiny intertwined. The Nexus determined it.
I know, Nanny.
In every reality
Nanny,
we've seen, they are together.
I know you read, Nanny. We used to read you all the fairy tale books about true love and princes and princes and princesses and princes and
yes, and I'm
all
seeing
of that.
it. We're witnessing it.
Yeah, those are stories, Lucius. You can't just marry the first man or woman who comes into your life in that way. You have to see how things go. You have to play it out and things.
I'm letting them just naturally fall into marriage on that balcony tonight so that I can see it, sister. That's all. Just a gentle nudge from a dear friend.
Is this because you don't have that special someone? Is this what this is? You want it for them because you're looking for it? Is that the sort of thing?
What? Don't be absurd, sister. We're fine on our own, aren't we? Huh? You don't have...
Why are you assuming who said I'm on my own? She kind of looks at you offended.
What?
Like,
oh, yes. Sorry.
You did did remember what I was doing the night everything happened.
I do, yes. I forgot about that.
That's fine, but we don't need to be alone, Lucius. And she kind of looks and she's like, I think that you might be surprised at how many people might be interested in yourself as well. And she glances at Faith and Prince Aridan. Like she kind of like glances at both of them.
I'm next to Lucius like,
Come on. Well, we know that ship will never sail.
No, you're destined for Max's waters. Tiangong is there, just right up in your face. Lucius, Virion-Elluin Elenasto.
Yes?
Nova Vija has requested that you cease and desist with the lewd gestures.
Lewd? What do you mean? What? I don't understand. And he starts doing the gesture again.
Exactly.
But the thing is now Tiangong has like spoken, everybody's looking, and you do the gesture, and like a bunch of people
What's
are
wrong
like,
with this?
What? Stop it! Stop it!
Lucius!
Valerie's like, hold it, like, Valerie's like trying not to look. Max is like, how dare
oh my god, Lucius is going to die tonight.
Sorry, I didn't know what...
The Sky Prince is bright fucking red. Faith is fucking bright red. Everybody's just like looking at Lucius like shocked. Araya is pissing herself. Yep. I think that there is, some people do head back. There is a sort of a few people begin making their way back to where they're staying in Gusthaven. They begin making their way back up to the rooms. I think the Sky Prince will sort of have a sort of lingering goodbye with Lucius, where sort of like he, is being very prim and proper, but it's a very sort of like, doesn't want to go kind of goodbye of just like, well, thank you very much for the lovely evening, Lucius.
Yes,
I hope that you'll come back again soon, and
just be wonderful. And he just he embraces Prince.
He's like, are you all right? Are you, Lucius? It's fine.
I've always looked up to you as. I'm sorry.
No, please, Lucius. No, I think if anybody has to look up to anybody, it's me to you. You've done so much for the city, and
I can't believe I did this in front of everyone.
I must admit it was a little funny, and he does sort of like grin at you, like a cheeky grin, like I can't believe you did that. That was very. Anyway, it's
I think I need to lie down.
I think you should too. And he will sort of like hug, but it's that like holds for a second too long and then puts you at sort of arm's length, and then just sort of bows his head and leaves. And he will make his way out. But definitely, there's like as he gets to the door, he does the look back, and then he leaves.
I see that. I'm fanning my face.
Does the finger gesture.
You're trying to figure out what it means.
No, because Quill'd be like, what? I don't get it. That's not a cloaca.
Lucius, however, in this whole time has fallen into a retreat, and he's refusing to speak to anyone out of pure embarrassment.
Right.
Oh.
Because he was, it was a very rude gesture made during the,
in front of
the dinner.
everyone he cares about, including Prince Aridan of Gusthaven.
Yep.
Holy shit, he did this
Who made the
multiple
gesture?
times.
3.
You feel a tap on your shoulder, Quill, when you're on your own. And
What?
it's Lucius with his captain's hat, like completely obscuring his face.
Lucius,
Hello, Birdie.
where have you been?
I have urgent. I have something I need your help with, if that's okay.
Lucius, you're covering your mouth and I can't see your eyes. What's
I would
happening?
like to.
What have you done?
I need your help, Birdie, please.
With what? What? Yes, where have you been? But yes, what?
Do you have any charges of your eye left?
I can spare some. What is it? Is it something Starbane related? Is it Project Vanguard? We found out a lot about Project Vanguard, and I haven't found you anywhere to tell you about them. What is?
Sorry,
what
were
do
you saying?
Project Vanguard.
I need you to help me. So,
Oh my god!
could
Okay,
you
what is
please tell me if in the past, it's probably been a few days, I imagine.
Sure.
If anyone's been talking about that moment,
What moment?
you know the one.
There's been many moments. Wait, in the past few days, moments? The only thing that's happened is the dinner. Oh, Lucius. Oh, Lucius.
Please,
Is that where you've been?
just help me.
Because
I
of
just
that?
need to know if anyone's still discussing my reputation, and I feel like I can't see anyone anymore, and I can never go to the prince again.
Lucius. No one's been talking about it. Has anyone been talking about it? From at least
know.
what I've seen.
All right, Nova has been.
I get
Sentry
like
has
flashes in
been.
my mind. Flashes in my mind of Nova and Sentry
Never mind.
just laughing.
Just
Just chose well.
Lucius.
friggin' Sias.
Because he's not an elf anymore.
He's not an elf.
Cool. Oh.
You walk down the streets of Gusthaven. You know the route well. It is the path home.
Oh no.
The Elenasto estate is missing, but a long dinner table stands in the green field where it once would have stood. You see many people sat at this long table. Some are misty, ethereal things. You know they are people, but their features, their clothes, their voices are unimportant. But some you know well. You see your companions, Sentry, Ayla, Quill, Nova. You see the crew of the Storm Chaser, Aerois, Faith, Kamara, Howard, all of them. You see Prince Aridan and your sister Edea. They are speaking with your father Virion and your mother Elluin. They are laughing together. Your father looks relieved, as though the weight of years and stress has been taken away. What do you do?
I'm going to ask. I'll be subtle about it.
Yeah?
Yeah, you want me to ask?
What
Just
for
get
who?
some hints of what Max
Can
is.
you ask after he gives me my hammer back?
I don't know what's happening.
I don't know. I just want to know if he's got any interest in a party member, you know?
Or just in anyone. Just
You a big fan of matrices, Max?
are you a big fan of high elves, Max?
Oh, I see what you're
Big
getting
fan
at.
of birds?
Max isn't my type, I'm afraid.
No?
No, he's extremely hot. Don't get me wrong.
I think that's innate. He said
No, as in like he's sexy. He's
okay.
He's a sexy man, isn't he? I think we can all agree there, but he's not really my type.
Ballow's just like, I'm just gonna pretend I can't hear any of this.
I might go to the Sky Prince
Yeah.
and see if see him as well.
Yeah. I mean, there's absolutely no trouble in finding your way to the palace.
I know where that is.
Yeah. And everyone there knows who you are. There's no trouble. You know, the guards let you in, lead you into an audience chamber. Aridan is likely attending to just everyday matters, like kind of speaking with a few advisors, making plans for the city and things like that. You also notice that the priestess from the Temple of Siaska is here. And then he kind of sees you and he's like, forgive me. You know my thoughts on this. Come and speak to me again, but I think it is best we let them know. She's like, very well, my prince. And she sort of bows. And Aridan will look over and be like, Lucius, it's wonderful to see you again. I'm assuming that we have you and your friends to thank for recent developments?
I suppose you could say that, yes. We've been very, very busy.
Yes, from the sounds of it. I do speak with Danica from time to time, fighting these titans. I hear that Starbane fought you in a duel?
Yes, that bloody fool. That 1,000-year-old tyrant.
To think that we would be here calling him a bloody fool after our years of fear and history teaching us of the horrors that were inflicted on us.
It makes me feel better.
Good.
To make light of the situation. Either way.
And to know that he can be bested. That it was, that he is just a man. How can I help you? What brings you to Gusthaven? What brings you home?
Oh, well, unfortunately we're not here to stay. I'm sure you got the message, as you were just discussing.
Yes.
Our final journey is upon us. Hopefully and I mean that in the way that I would like to stop doing this after a certain amount of time, and I think we've reached our career peak, so to speak.
I'm glad to hear that. I worried that you may have meant it in another way. I hope that you return home and will have the peaceful life you deserve after all of this.
We'll see. The peaceful life for everybody.
Yes. Well, you think of others a lot, Lucius. You are part of everyone too. Me wishing you a peaceful life does not discount me wishing everyone else one.
Wise as always, Sky Prince.
I try to just care about the things I care about.
As is both our duties.
Duty is a part of it. How can I help you? What brings you home?
Well, first of all, we're having a little dinner.
Like we had before?
Yes.
Hopefully, perhaps less rude gestures at this one, perhaps?
Oh. And Lucius blushes.
He just laughs. He's just like, I'm joking. It was a joke. Please.
I didn't actually technically say that you were coming to Nova, but I'm sure Nova's mum always prepares far too much food.
They were very kindly people, and they've been wonderful here in Gusthaven. Her cooking is quite popular. I've heard a lot of people speaking of it.
Yes. Yes, you'd be more than welcome.
Thank you. I would love to attend. I would love to.
It would be nice for a final gathering of the people we care about the most.
Of course. Yeah.
Speaking of which...
Yeah.
Have you seen my sister?
An interesting topic. I have. She has petitioned. Her record of death has now been expunged. She wishes to resume the name Adea Elenasto. It seems that the pirates, they're all gone.
The Wind Barons?
Wind Barons, they are all gone. Adea took care of many of them. Others fled when Valkyrian seemingly pulled their forces away. The Empire sort of retreated. Without their support, these pirates really couldn't stand up to any strong military force. So they fled. A large number of them vanished just before then, though. Adea and some of the others that we had them investigating them spoke of another one ordering them to join them, to take them to gain power somewhere. I think the name Zarkira was mentioned.
Right.
But since then, unfortunately, I have very little information about that, but since then, now that the Wind Barons are no longer a threat, I think that your sister has been a bit bored. She doesn't really... Her quest for vengeance is sort of sputtered out. She doesn't know what to do with herself, so yes, she's asked to expunge the record of her death, to reclaim the title, and to... she's been trying to buy back your family's land from those who bought it.
Interesting. Well...
As I understand it, the families who purchased the land keep rebuffing her, saying that they have an agreement with you about some other property that may be involved. Maybe good for you to speak with her.
It's all very secret.
I believe she's staying with them at the moment. They've
Right.
offered to let her stay with them for the time being. It's all very amicable. It's not aggressive or anything. At their estate.
Not in the secret basement.
Secret basement?
Never mind, I didn't say a word.
Clearly, no. At their estate, just not too far from your own family's home.
Right.
I can take you there if you wish.
Please.
It will be good to get out of the palace.
By the way, we may not get a chance at the dinner, but I want to thank you.
Why? Well, I feel like I've done very little.
Ever since I returned to Gusthaven and tried to find out about my family and follow the Wind Barons, you've been nothing but a great ally and a great friend.
Of course. You are... Well, I mean, your family was always kind to me and to mine, but also you're I don't know, you're a good person. Of course I would help you. Why I don't
You
say
went
I would
above and beyond your station. Your station lies with the populist of Gusthaven, not just me.
No.
And you took a lot of your time to help us on our journey to get to where we are now.
I guess I can't say that I didn't. It's strange. From the moment you walked in, I knew that there was something different. I don't know if it was a divine calling or a sense of fate or just a hunch, but I felt that I had to help you, that it was important that I help you, that you deserved my help. And really, it wasn't that hard to give. You were kind, you were considerate, you did much for the people of Gusthaven. When there was danger, you and your allies did not hesitate to come to their aid. Not for a moment. So, of course, you're welcome, but I feel that the thanks are unnecessary. You've done and given so much for Aerois, for Gusthaven. What I've done feels very little in comparison.
Well, not to me.
Thank you, Lucius.
And not to what we consider the champions, I guess.
Champions of Aerois. I think that is a very apt title. And you're welcome. He kind of like looks at you and sort of isn't like kind of does that thing of like isn't sure the net like kind of goes to offer a hand, but like maybe like does that like is this a hug? Like I don't know. Like
I'll give him a big hug.
Yeah, he kind of like and then he kind of leans into it and presses tightly against you. You know, his hands on your back, and just sort of like still sort of keeping that embrace, but like takes a step back and looks into your eyes, and just says like, the High Elven people in Gusthaven are proud to count you among us, Lucius, Virion-Elluin, Elenasto. You do us a great service.
I think I'd cut him off.
Yeah.
And go in for a big kiss.
Oh. Okay.
It's happening!
Natural 20. It is...
Fucking hell, tongues.
There is shock and surprise, but it does not pull away. Aridan does not pull away. Aridan leans into it, and when there is that break in a moment, you see that he is like completely flustered and like surprised.
I'm sorry, it's out of place, Sky Prince.
He coughed. He like looks. He's like, no, Lucius. I didn't realize. I thought that you weren't. And he's like, I'm very happy. I just didn't think that you were interested. I didn't realize.
I didn't either. I'm trying to discover myself as much as I discover others.
That is a journey I understand quite well. It has taken me a long time to find who I am, and I did not always have the most understanding of family, but I found myself. And if I can help you in that journey, that would be very nice. And if you have questions, or if this is too much, if this was something that you come to later think on and regret, I won't be offended or upset. I understand that sometimes in the moment it catches us all unawares, but if you want to talk about it, any time, of course.
I'll hold you to that.
Please.
First, I have to go kill Hadar.
That's certainly a that's certainly a goodbye message. No,
but I need a reason to come back.
Well, you're not going tomorrow, right?
We've got the dinner.
And if you have any time before then, spend some time with me. Come back where we can sit and talk and just do whatever you want.
That would be lovely, thank you.
You too. He just sort of like squeezes your hand a little bit, and then
he takes off his silk glove.
Oh, you take it off, and he like takes your hand gently.
He rarely takes his gloves off.
He maybe will actually just kiss the top of your hand, and then sort of nod and say, oh, I think I should get back to being a prince for a bit.
Oh yes, of course.
And you need to go find Adair. Let me, and he'll sort of he'll say, I'll walk with you to the palace exit, and then I can sort of point you in the right direction. I mean, you know where you're going anyway, but I'd like to walk with you at least a little way. And yeah, he'll walk with you. Yeah, and isn't afraid to if you were receptive to it, he would hold your hand. There's no keeping a secret
Lucius
in the palace.
Is clearly this is new.
Yeah, absolutely.
Nerve-wracking, but
yeah, but it's up to you. He is very. He's he'll have that hand lingering. If you want to take it, but if you don't, he just keeps it and relaxes it.
I think he's probably waiting for cues from the Sky Prince rather than
Yeah.
He's,
uncharted territory. Yeah, in that case, he would probably just walk next to you, brush his hand against yours as if you want to, you can take my hand kind of thing. But there's no hiding it amongst the staff or anything like that. Nobody's shocked or surprised, if they see it. There were probably people that saw you kiss him and nothing,
paparazzi.
No paparazzi, but probably palace staff.
Outside the window, Quill's looking in.
We just went to Rose Hall together!
I wish that were me. I wish I were a high elf.
With Lucius. Lucius, is there anything you want to kind of talk about with everyone here? Is there anything specific you want to do within this dinner? With all these beloved NPCs who are here, probably many of whom will probably still come with you, but there are definitely going to be some people here that won't.
Yeah, okay. I'll probably stand up and ding a glass.
Ding, 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 ding.
Hello, everyone. It's Lucius, captain of the Storm Chaser here. If you didn't know. Oh, wait. No, I think everybody knows. Good to see you all these fresh faces. This is our moment of peace, our moment of clear skies, if you will.
Clear skies, as everyone's sort of clear skies.
We have the biggest task ahead of us all. The greatest. And if we don't succeed, then the greatest fall. So, I just want to thank you all for getting us to where we are today. Without each and every one of yours devotion, your kindness, your help, we wouldn't have made it this far, I think. So, from the champions of Aerois to our dearest friends and allies, who will be joining us or not joining us, I raise a glass to you all. Clear skies.
Clear skies.
Clear
Clear
skies.
skies. Clear skies. Clear skies. Clear skies.
Also, me and Sky Prince Aridan might be dating. Anyway.
What was that? Oh,
Aridan just sort of puts his hand over this and goes a bit red. You must learn subtlety a bit, Lucius, I think. As that bomb drops.
What?
Quill was livid.
No, it doesn't have to be a big speech to everyone, but is there anybody here that you want to specifically?
There would definitely be some point after Lucius's speech that she just catches an eye and is like...
Me? Oh.
Podcast listeners, lewd gestures are being made.
Yeah, the same lewd gesture.
Bingo.
Quill.
Circle.
What about your boyfriend?
Oh, Sky Prince, I think, should remain leader of Gusthaven.
I agree, I just wanted to say
Just
boyfriend.
removing the, ignore that, the monarchy.
Yeah, how'd that happen?
What?
Tell us all about it.
There is no time. We are facing the end times.
Time stop.
Everyone freezes except Quill.
Well.
Sky Prince Aridan, emotions aside, very similar to the Seekers in Vortensar, I think there would be unrest in Gusthaven without a ruler seated. It would be unwise. Also, no offense to him, I don't know what his combat capabilities are.
He would be. He would be a suitable combatant if you wanted to take him, but you can also choose to leave him behind.
What does anyone else think?
It makes sense to leave. I mean, if we're hoping Danica would join us, we need some leaders back in Aerois. It makes sense.
Agreed.
I think to try and help, because I can feel like Lucius's hand tightening.
Feel his pulse, like
I would start just like almost in that very Nova way, just rambling, and I'm rambling and trying to say every positive memory that we've had together, you know, sitting on the deck of the Storm Chaser, just feeling the breeze, you know, going to the spa day, you know, when we were in Gusthaven, you showing us around, seeing Lucius and Aridan at that final feast together, happy and just yourselves, and seeing you reunited with your sister. And Nova would just be, again, just rambling, all these, trying to fill every single positive memory, almost trying to speak over, knowing she probably can't, but just trying to give you another source of noise to listen to.
Plus, it'd be really awkward if I was to propose to Prince Aridan and then become a god and watch him.
Wait, that's happening?
Are you gonna do that?
You doing that?
If I stay as I am now,
I want to go to that.
that's the life I would like to lead. That's what gives it purpose. The idea of infinity, the idea of Hadar when he touched us. The temptation to go, to become nothing, to become eternally nothing. That scares me. Being left with my own thoughts for eternity, and for everyone to look to me for guidance. I have nothing to guide people on. I've got things I want to do here on Aerois. And that's where I'll do them. I got notes.
Yeah, Charles got
Lucius,
notes.
take us away.
I got notes for everyone here.
Okay.
Oh no, here we go.
Oh no.
Yep, the tissues.
So at a certain point, Lucius will do the thing and go back to Gusthaven and embrace Prince Aridan, and then he'll get a ring commissioned out of
Ethereum.
And then when I propose to Prince Aridan,
Yes.
this comes with a clause, Prince.
Okay.
Princey Prince.
This is Ethereum. I want us to shut down the production of Ethereum. Things that draw upon the planet itself. Let's find a new way.
I think that. I mean, now that the astral world has been open, astral space has been open to us, I think that there are many great ventures and ways that
Go mining asteroids.
No, but there are people to trade with, business that we
Yes.
cannot begin to imagine. Ethereum was a way for the Sky Cities to survive when we needed it. But now, there's so much more.
Thank you.
I would say
Is that a
perhaps
yes?
well, it's a little sudden, but
Come on, I'm not a god.
yes. There has never been anyone that I have felt as close to as I feel with you.
Likewise.
Perhaps this will last, perhaps it will not, but I would rather spend time with you now. I would rather say yes to something that my heart believes in, even if it is one that has not been tested as yet.
Oh, I'll test it. In a good way.
Yes.
Great.
With that, he will accept the ring.
So that's Prince Aridan. At a certain point, there's going to be speeches
Okay.
at the wedding.
And you will all be, of course, invited as the best
Damn straight.
Couldn't make it.
people, guests of honor.
Get my
Who's
feathers cut
washing
that
his
day.
feathers?
Which is on a microphone similar to Shansara's, using that technology.
Yeah, would make sense.
Hello? Could you hear me? 'Cause
I can hear you loud and clear, Lucius.
if I may be self-indulgent right now, this is to the individual champions of Aerois, whom I've had countless journeys and saved. Can you still hear me?
I can hear you.
Oh my god.
Great. I'll begin
Maybe I'm not a good judge for that, actually.
with Ayla.
Ah,
Stand up, please.
no.
Right. It took a while, but I slowly saw beneath that fierce shell of yours that there's a big heart that lays underneath. I learned a lot from your determination, your bravery, and I connected to the loss of your past. Sorry for bringing that up at the wedding. Sorry. You helped me fight through the pain, both the physical and the mental. I always knew that if we had Ayla on our side, we could overcome anything. Next, who's next? Sentry.
Horribly frozen.
Sentry.
Hello.
Our first mission near Rosehall, you remember?
Yeah.
Into the chasm of the ancient ruins of Dwellington. I had scribes look it up.
That's scary.
It was when I first knew I could connect to the Guardian's matrix by seeing memories from that feral forge Guardian. Trapped down there, it was then that I formed a unique bond with you in particular. Your selflessness to protect everyone is truly the light that shone for us in the darkest of places. I am honored to have stood by your side to save Aerois, Sentinel Prime. Till all are one.
Till all one, Captain.
Lucius awkwardly drops the mic to do a
Or do you just chin yourself with it?
Nova.
Oh god, bright red, bright
Nova's
purple.
there.
Oh, bright purple.
Everyone say hi to Nova.
Hi,
Nova!
When we were teleported to the shores of Mirskir, yes, we've been around. He waits for applause and laughter, but okay.
I've had a tiny bit to drink.
Thank you, Quill. That's Birdie.
Thimble of alcohol has entered his system.
A little bit.
At this point, Sentry had fallen and Valor was stolen. You had lost all hope. Your books of knowledge thrown into the sand. What was it that I told you? Let's write some better ones. You went above and beyond that assignment. To think of what we've achieved together, who we've saved, who you have saved. You have saved me, Nova, multiple times, and I wouldn't be standing here if it weren't for you. Thank you.
Yeah, you got me. Yep, okay.
Did you hear that, Nova?
No,
Did
yeah.
you get all the last bit I said at the end there?
Yep.
I wouldn't be standing here if it weren't for you. Thank you.
Nova's gonna run up to the stage and just body.
Oh!
Just.
This is Nova! Champion of Aerois.
Lots of confused looking high elves, but lots of your friends and allies woo!
Birdie.
Oh, that's me.
Qillek Ad Khollar.
I'll get up, I'll hit the table.
Ex-champion of Hesper. Asked to be a god, said no. We all said no, by the way. We could have been gods. Just so you know.
Confused looking faces.
When you first fell, trying to find a way to revive Sentry, I didn't realize how much of a gut-wrenching moment that would be for me, personally. Returning with the Eye of Hesper, you gave us a sign and a light to guide us through that difficult path, and the wisdom to overcome so many challenges in our way. I'm honored to call you, Birdie, my best friend. I hope to enjoy your company all the way through to Elder Quill and beyond.
That's in 5 years.
Way beyond.
I love you.
Love you too. Almost as much as Prince Aridan, who is my
Almost as
husband.
much? Oh, I'm
watching you,
wedding.
Quill.
I love you all, champions of Aerois.
Clear skies.
Clear skies.
Clear skies.
Clear skies. As the whole room raises a toast. The celebrations go on late into the evening. Many days beyond, perhaps, as well.
Quill, do you need anything? because I can be there. I'm trying to just work out. Can we take the Storm Chaser? Can we rebuild the Storm Chaser?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, okay.
I asked my husband to use the budget for our wedding. I assume you gave me a bit of money, right?
I gave you like my entire chest of...
He has all of it.
We're commissioning a new Storm Chaser.
Excellent.
As a wedding gift.
So...
To yourself.
To me.
What?
You see Gusthaven develop, grow, change. It's Prince Aridan and Crown Prince Lucius grow old together.
Quill and Lucius have
I don't think